Do you know how attackers hack into your machine? In previous video we have discussed about you are connecting into some public Wi-Fi and attacker is finding open ports in your machine. Now we will see how attackers are exploiting vulnerabilities in your machine and gaining access to your device. Before we begin, we have to understand what is FTP and what is the role of FTP protocol, and how attacker can exploit this protocol. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. It's a standard network protocol used for transferring files between a client and a server on a computer network. It works on a client-server model, where the client connects to an FTP server to access or share files. It uses two channels, a command channel for sending control commands and a data channel for transferring file data. FTP typically operates over port 21 for commands and port 20 for data transfer in active mode. Let's start the exploitation. I have a vulnerable machine running in my virtual box that is Metasploitable 2. I am pinging to that machine. See here we are getting a response with the TTL value 64. TTL means time to leave. If TTL value is 64, it means that could be a Linux or Mac OS. Techniques we have studied in the previous session. I am going to perform full open scan with the version detection. We can see here this much ports are open in this machine. Our objective is to find FTP vulnerability and try to exploit it. Now it's time for introducing Metasploit framework. It is an open source platform used for developing, testing, and executing security exploits. It is widely used by cybersecurity professionals, penetration testers, and ethical hackers to identify vulnerabilities in systems and networks. We use MSF console command for starting Metasploit framework console. It is a non-graphical framework. It have a database about various vulnerabilities reported and they exploit for that vulnerabilities. Our objective is to find the FTP version having any vulnerabilities reported or not. We can use the search keyword for searching the vulnerabilities in the database. Here I am searching with the FTP version we found, so we can find out any vulnerabilities are reported about this particular version. In the Metasploit database we found an exploit, which you can exploit the vulnerability of this particular FTP version, and it was reported in the 3rd of July 2011. And it is for gaining backdoor access to the victim machine. To use this exploit we have to use the command use, followed by the index number. Here the index number is 0. Once we select any modules, each of them should be configured within necessary values. To know about the necessary values to be entered, type show options. It will display the necessary field has to be entered. In the required field, if any value is marked as yes, it means that option cannot be left blank. Here they are asking for R port and R host. RPORT refers to the remote port on the target system that the exploit or module will connect to. R host stands for the remote host, referring to the target system's IP address or host name. Here I am entering the victim IP address in the R host. R port is already set as 21, so I am not modifying it. After setting up the necessary values, we can type run or exploit for the exploitation. Now we have gained access to the victim machine and we are seeing all the files and directories in the victim machine. I got backdoor access to the victim machine now, so I can do any modifications to any files in the machine. This is a user directory in the victim machine. Create, modify or delete any files or directory in the victim machine now. Here I am creating a text file at the victim machine. I hope you understand how FTP vulnerabilities are being exploited by the attacker. In the upcoming session we will learn more about exploitation. For more cybersecurity videos we can subscribe my channel.